They referred to it as a major event, and it truly met those expectations. When Kendrick Lamar and SZA arrived in San Francisco for their grand national tour at Oracle Park, the city was gearing up for more than just a concert. It was set for a cultural phenomenon. What would typically be an ordinary Thursday evening filled with traffic jams transformed into something extraordinary. Thousands of fans arrived early at the ballpark, and the streets around the stadium buzzed with excitement. Groups of people gathered, some wearing merchandise from previous tours, while others donned new GNX apparel still showing creases from the packaging. By the way, welcome to Celebrity Hip Hop Showroom, where hip hop and celebrity drama never sleep, so hit that subscribe button so you never miss the mess. Let's get into it. The excitement began long before sunset. By noon, ticket sales had commenced, and lines were already snaking around the plaza. By 3 p.m., Lefty O'Dowd Plaza had turned into a vibrant marketplace, with official merchandise booths selling limited edition hoodies, screen-printed posters, neon GNX lanyards, and vinyl reissues of Control, Damn, and the newly released GNX album. Fans were purchasing items in large quantities, clearly displaying their admiration for the artists. At exactly 5 p.m., the gates opened, and the crowd surged into Oracle Park, where the outfield had been transformed into a stage that showcased the grandeur of the tour, massive LED screens, a towering GNX logo above a multi-tiered platform, and a runway extending deep into the field, bringing the performers closer to the audience. This was more than just a concert, it was a large-scale spectacle in a ballpark. By 7 p.m., over 40,000 attendees filled the seats, eagerly awaiting the show as the lights dimmed and a haunting instrumental filled the air. Then, as the crowd erupted, SZA appeared from a cloud of golden fog. Dressed in a flowing white outfit, she opened the show with Seek and Destroy, a standout track from SOS. Her voice resonated beautifully, cutting through the night with clarity. She commanded the stage with a graceful presence. No dancers, no fireworks, just her and the music. She transitioned smoothly into Love Galore, the song that first brought her into the mainstream spotlight, and the audience responded immediately, singing along to every word. When she performed Snooze, the atmosphere shifted to something softer and more intimate. Sitting at the edge of the runway with her legs dangling above a cloud of stage smoke, it felt as if she was serenading the city. The moment everyone had been eagerly anticipating arrived during the middle of her performance. The beat for Kill Bill kicked in, and the audience erupted with enthusiasm. A cinematic backdrop illuminated the screens, presenting a stylized visual story that merged anime and grindhouse aesthetics. SZA confidently moved around the stage, embodying a theme of revenge as fans joined in, chanting, "I might kill my ex." Then, almost as if it were orchestrated, there was a brief pause. The screens went dark, followed by a deep rumble. The bass thumped powerfully, and a fresh energy surged through the stadium. Kendrick Lamar emerged from a platform at the center of the stage. There was no formal announcement or grand introduction, just Kendrick, clad in a leather jacket and GNX cap, illuminated by a single spotlight. He launched into DNA, and the hard-hitting beat sent the already excited crowd into a frenzy. Kendrick's delivery was as intense as ever, with each line cutting through the music with precision. His movements were deliberate, reminiscent of a skilled boxer dominating the ring. He seamlessly transitioned through Element, Backseat Freestyle, and Money Trees, connecting different stages of his career like chapters in a book. Each verse reminded the audience that Kendrick wasn't just on tour, he was in command. However, the energy shifted as he moved into Pride and Love, softening the atmosphere. The lighting dimmed, and the visuals became abstract. Paint strokes, silhouettes of children playing, hands reaching for the sky. He brought the audience down just enough for some reflection. Then Kendrick shifted to tracks from GNX, the album that inspired this tour. He began with Free Market, an anti-capitalist anthem delivered with the fervor of a preacher. "I seen gold turn to rust when it's fed to the youth," he rapped, fists clenched. The crowd erupted, many singing along despite the album having been released only weeks earlier. That's the power of his influence. That's the admiration he commands. Next came Faithless, a deeply personal song that critics have hailed as one of Kendrick's most vulnerable since You. With a stripped-down arrangement from the band, the stage darkened except for a single spotlight on him. If I die without belief, will I meet my father or just my past? He pondered, blending therapy with performance art. SZA returned for a highlight of the set. All the Stars began with a surreal interlude featuring a full string section building beneath a cosmic animation on the large screens. As the beat dropped, Kendrick and SZA stood back-to-back at the end of the runway, exchanging lines like a ritual. Then came the most thrilling moment of the evening. The crowd was buzzing with anticipation even before the first line was delivered. Not Like Us. The diss track that had shaken the hip-hop world was now being performed live in the Bay Area, and the audience erupted in excitement. From the moment Kendrick declared, "Number 1, I ain't the one to play with," the energy was electric. He held nothing back during the tour. Every jab, every taunt, and every "They're not like us" echoed throughout the ballpark, louder than any chant from the crowd. By the second chorus, the whole audience was on their feet. SZA, now wearing a black and red G&X bomber jacket, danced at the edges, energizing the crowd as Kendrick delivered his verses with passion. That song, already a massive hit, felt even more impactful live. A generational moment that resonated in the air. What came next was a celebration. Kendrick performed All Right, a song that has long gone beyond its original album. As he repeated, "We gon' be alright," the audience raised their arms, creating an atmosphere reminiscent of a church or a revolution. SZA returned to the stage for her solo song, Good Days, her voice drifting through the crowd like incense. Together, they closed the night with Collide, an unreleased track that had been teased earlier in the tour. Fans had only heard snippets online, but the live performance was rich and cinematic, part love song, part battle anthem. It ended with both artists silhouetted against a vibrant, fiery backdrop, with the G&X symbol rising behind them. Then there was silence. No encore, just a final bow. They walked off together, turning their backs to the audience, as 40,000 people stood in awe. The Grand National Tour, already making headlines for its artistic vision and raw emotion, reached a new high in San Francisco. The city didn't just host a concert, it experienced a moment. Kendrick Lamar and SZA didn't just perform, they revealed, preached, and connected. For 2 hours, Oracle Park became something sacred. Outside the venue, fans lingered. Some buzzed with excitement, while others stood still, trying to process what they had just seen. It was no longer about celebrity or even the music. It was about being present for a night when two of the most significant artists of their generation poured their hearts, pain, joy, rebellion, love, into an unforgettable experience. Backstage, the vibe was electric. Kendrick, who is typically more reserved, was seen sharing smiles with his team. SZA hugged her bandmates and took the time to thank each one of them. There were rumors that the performance might be recorded for a future streaming release, as cameras were positioned in unexpected spots throughout the evening, and drones flew quietly above the stadium. In the weeks leading up to the event, ticket prices had generated a lot of buzz. General admission tickets sold out within minutes, with resale prices skyrocketing over $1,000. Some VIP packages, which included meet and greets, early merchandise access, and a pre-show Q&A with Kendrick's production team, reached as high as $2,500. However, as fans left Oracle Park on Thursday night, they didn't focus on what they had spent. Instead, they shared their feelings about the experience. This was more than just another stop on a tour. It was a powerful statement from two artists who refused to be limited. Kendrick's intense lyrical prowess and sharp intellect, combined with SZA's ethereal strength and emotional authenticity, created a striking contrast that few tours can replicate. One moment featured fierce battle rap, while the next delivered a heartfelt ballad about longing. It was both a protest and a form of artistic expression. The Grand National Tour still has upcoming performances in cities like New York, Atlanta, Chicago, and eventually Los Angeles, but San Francisco marked a pivotal moment. Fans were eager to see if Kendrick could maintain the same energy night after night and whether the G&X message would resonate in different locations. Oracle Park proved that it could. Furthermore, it amplified the message. When Kendrick declared, They not like us. It transcended mere rap rivalry. It was a declaration that artists like him and SZA are truly one of a kind. Their journeys, purposes, and performances are not limited by trends, industry standards, or record labels. In a world filled with scripted tours and pre-recorded vocals, the Grand National Tour feels vibrant and alive. It breathes, stumbles, and bursts with energy. San Francisco experienced it at its most dynamic. Long after the stage lights faded, as fans made their way to the Embarcadero and BART stations, the memories lingered. A girl with a signed poster quietly recited lyrics. A group of friends replayed videos on their phones, cheering at every high note. A father told his teenage son, "You'll remember this night when you're my age." I'd love to hear your thoughts on this situation, so please share your opinions in the comments. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay updated on this story.